Hello, welcome to part 4 of my night table project series. In this video, things are going to really come together as I assemble the panels and install some drawers. Let's get started. Before assembling the cabinet, it's a lot easier to apply a finish to the inside surfaces. I start by applying a coat of stain. This requires 5 minutes to soak in, and then I simply remove any excess with a rag. I then put 2 coats of polyurethane. Now it's not essential on the inside because it's not going to see a lot of wear and tear, but it's good to have the finish match on the inside and out so it'll react the same way to any changes in temperature. Now I can actually assemble the cabinet. I follow my plan that I did outside in the dry fit. Put some glue and some screws on the bottom just to help me out while I'm putting the pieces together. I then put the clamps on, check things look square, and let it dry. Now I need to make the pieces for the drawers. I'm using 1/2 inch plywood here, and I rip and then cross cut the sides and the front and back pieces to the right length. Now I need to make a dado to accommodate the bottom of the drawer. And I'm using my table saw, but I can't make it the dado wide enough in one pass. So I run everything over first, then I take a scrap piece and run it just like the others. Then I can move the fence over just a little bit, run the scrap piece through again, and check to see if the 1/4 inch plywood will fit. Once I've got that, I take all of the drawer pieces, run them over the table saw. This now widens the dado, and I know the bottom's going to fit in nicely. The last step is take the fronts and the backs and make some rabbets. Now these rabbets will be used to accommodate the side pieces. So again, with the rabbet, I've got just a little bit more glue surface to get a better fit between the front and the sides. The last step for the drawers is to cut the plywood bottom. I'm using 1/4 inch plywood. Now I can take all of the parts inside. I apply glue to the rabbets and to the dado for the bottom and square them up within my jig. To check that everything's good, I measured the diagonals. Once these 2 measurements are the same, then I know that my drawer is square and I can let the glue set. Now the completed drawers are made of plywood, which doesn't match the rest of the table. So I've cut these pieces, which are called false fronts. And I'm going to attach them to the front of the drawer so that everything matches. First I use shims to make sure I've got even spacing between all of the parts. Then I put double-sided tape on the front of the drawer, reposition one false front at a time, press it against the tape, clamp it into place to make sure that it's not going to move at all. I can then carefully take it out and move it over so I can drill the holes for attaching. I marked a location for the mounting holes using a drill bit. Simply tapping it through shows me where to drill to attach the front. With the drawer faces attached and the drawers fitted, I wanted to address 2 other things. The first is anti-tipping. With the drawer pulled out just a little bit, this is what happens. To fix that, I cut some thin strips and attach them to the side of the cabinet. Now, you can pull this out almost the whole way, really, and no problem. The second thing is to make sure that these drawers actually close, well, like this, flush with each other and with the sides. To do that, I installed some stop blocks at the back of the cabinet. I put one long piece along the bottom edge to stop the bottom cabinet and 2 pieces on the side for the upper cabinet. So now, nice and smooth. Well, more or less. Quality work. The last thing to do for the drawers is to install the hardware. I marked the locations to drill using some very high-tech measuring devices, or maybe just some scrap pieces of wood. Anyway, after that, it's just drill and attach the knobs. Working in progress.